After $1 billion hailstorm hits an area, your focus should be on running your business, not on insurance claims. We have helped streamline the insurance process for hundreds of roofing contractors across the U.S., and we can do it for yours too. Visit us online at c3adjusters.com and learn how we can help you save time and get claims paid faster.
Good afternoon, Hail Stalkers. Lead meteorologist Sean Shuka here for a fairly tired daily 12 p.m. hail forecast on this Tuesday. Had to think about that one for a second. Losing track of the days here, guys. Thanks to C3 Group and Merlin Law Group for sponsoring our videos. And of course, you can check out both of their pages in the description below. So here we are. We're talking about our website and app all ready to go. You can go ahead and give us a call. We can get to set you up for a training, some guidance. And yes, yesterday, we'll talk about yesterday just a little bit here. We did make a 3-star map. It was everything. Going to everything that we did yesterday in Oklahoma and Texas just all got shoved together in one map. Here, Odessa, Lubbock, Veneta, had everything in it. With some max hail size of 2.75 inch hail, it was bigger. There was actually some bigger hail now in Wellington, Texas. We found a picture of 5.5 inch hail that actually fell there. So I guess my forecast verified in one very small point. And we had 143,535 homes impacted. Here's some pictures scattered about. That was Odessa. This one was some other town somewhere. And this was that really big hailstone in the Wellington area. So before I move to the forecast, of course, we're going to talk a little bit about what happened yesterday. It's going to take some time to really pinpoint exactly what the problem was or why some things didn't happen the way they were forecast to. Obviously, I wasn't the only one who went in hard on the forecast. For those of you who don't know, the Storm Prediction Center is kind of like the top of the, I'd say, funnel. So when the Storm Prediction Center said there's going to be some really intense storms, I'm not just saying what they're saying, but I'm putting a lot of stock into that. And everything that we're looking at, everything I look at, I think the Storm Prediction Center looks at, all of that source of information was really painting a very dangerous picture yesterday. And everything was on track all the way up until about 1:30, 2 o'clock when data came in from the University of Oklahoma showing that there was actually the lapse rates, which is one of the things we use to see big hail, in Oklahoma were very, very low. And that is what you need to get that violent updraft motion to get the storms to actually go up. So even though we had an extremely volatile environment, the storms could never actually get going. And I think that was one of the reasons why things didn't pan out. There was also some chatter about some weird warm air aloft that wasn't forecast and all this other stuff. Weather is a fickle thing, and yesterday was just proof that we still have a lot to learn about weather. So, if we were wrong, that's what happened. I'm not really apologizing. I'm just trying to explain because weirdly, people get hyped up over something really big, even if it's dangerous and it doesn't pan out. It ends up just pitchforks get taken out. So I want to just kind of go on. So anyway, moving forward to today, not a big deal today. Got a big squall line moving through in Missouri and Arkansas. Not really going to see too much hail there. There is a chance we could see a couple storms form on the cold side of the low for Kansas today. I have a 2% chance maybe you could see a couple storms with some isolated ping pong ball size hail. Not really seeing too much going on. So I think we're going to just say up to ping pong ball size hail, isolated. 1 or 2 storms may form. I don't think that's going to be a really big deal. You can see the future radar here that I'm a little bitter about because it ended up being wrong yesterday. Showing here a couple storms, not really that big of a deal across much of rural Kansas. So we'll see how that pans out. Maybe we'll get lucky and we see something in Wichita, but I don't think Kansas City or anything's going to see anything today. Moving forward to tomorrow, we do have a chance for some hail, and this is a little bit more interesting. The models are showing some storms. Even when the Storm Prediction Center doesn't even have a forecast here, the models are showing storms possible. Whoop, a little bit of lag there. Some storms possible across near eastern Oklahoma, maybe by Tulsa. I'm not gonna really, this is a preliminary forecast. I'm not leading to it, and this should be up to 1.75 inch hail. I don't know why it said 1.5. but we could see some golf ball size hail here. I think there's going to be some storms late in the evening into the overnight hours from Wichita to Kansas City. So we could see some storms there. I'm not making anything big hype up it right now. I think the storm's been fairly isolated, and all of the computer models are all over the place about initiation and everything. There isn't going to be a ton of forcing, so it'll be one of those days where 1 or 2 storms may go up, and it could be pretty interesting. And weirdly enough, about half those models are showing them in Oklahoma. So I don't know, maybe tomorrow will be the day that's supposed to be what today was. So I'm going to show you this, what the model is showing. And again, it's showing a lot of activity in the evening across a good chunk of eastern Oklahoma. So that would be, that could be something. But again, this is the only model. There's another model that shows this. So there's 1 or 2 models showing that. So, you know, I'm not putting a lot of stock in it, but I am paying attention. There could be some storms in eastern Oklahoma, and then later, beyond where this model run does, it does show stuff up by Kansas City as well. Hopefully, I know we got a lot of Kansas City viewers here, and it's been pretty quiet up your neck of the woods. Hopefully, we can get a couple storms to spit out in the Kansas City area, or maybe even further north towards Omaha. Not tomorrow, but a little bit in the future here. So in that 5-day forecast, what are we looking at for the rest of this week? The busy pattern does continue. It's just not as well defined as what we were seeing for yesterday. And obviously, a big hyped up event can go to crap, even when when it's possible for a lot of stuff going on. Anything looking good for Denver anytime soon? Unfortunately, I don't think so. It friggin' snowed yesterday, and you know that's not a good sign. I think you're probably not going to see any. Might be pushing Denver back a little bit further beyond Memorial Day for anything. So again, today and tomorrow, we were talking about that already. Thursday, I say a 10% chance of seeing a 3-star map or better. Might end up being our next chase day out to some baseball size hail. And I say high population. I got 2 areas at risk to show for you guys. And then we have Friday, 5% chance up to some golf ball size hail. High population, again, I'll show you the area in just a moment. This will extend into the Great Lakes region. And then Saturday, I think that's going to be a Kansas day. It could be a pretty good storm chasing day. But for storms to hit population centers, maybe not so much. So Thursday, pretty good risk across Texas Panhandle, western Oklahoma, most of Kansas, even up maybe towards Omaha, and possibly as far east as St. Louis. I have it just to your west, but that, of course, can always change. And then we have a chance of hail in the very populated northeast, Great Lakes region. I think there actually is a halfway decent chance of seeing some hail to golf ball size, even in Pennsylvania, Ohio, and New York, which is a little unusual for that area of the country. Is Indiana going to get lucky? Indiana's already gotten kind of lucky as long as you just go to each of the borders. And then going on to Friday here, Kansas City up towards Chicago look to be at risk for storms as well. Again, up to maybe some golf ball size hail. And then finally on Saturday, this looks to be almost exclusively in Kansas. I know the Storm Prediction Center has a risk up here across the Great Lakes region, but I think that's going to be mostly wind threat. I don't think it's going to be too much in the way of hail. Rachel asks, is Dallas done? Not too sure. Yes, the risks are starting to shift a little to your north, but I wouldn't rule Dallas out until about the 2nd week of June. If you guys remember last year, your best storm of the year happened in the middle of the night in June when there was no risk. And 2012 had that as well. June 12th, you had an excellent severe weather event. And that was also just kind of based on it being warm. So I wouldn't rule out Dallas yet, but right now the chances for the rest of the week are looking pretty low. It looks pretty far north of you guys. Denver, I know we're waiting a long time. Winter is really not wanting to let go. So again, you will get hail, I promise you. Denver will get hail this year. It's just taking its sweet time. Any more for Houston this year? Probably not. I think Houston, you guys getting that big hailstorm, that big 5-star map that we made, that's probably going to be what you're going to have to work with for at least the foreseeable future, sans hurricanes or anything. So right along that Gulf Coast, we're getting to that point now in May where things are starting to shift more into the central plains. So we'll, unless something really crazy happens, I think the higher percentage chances are really coming down for the Houston area. But hey, you know what? You did get a storm this year, so at least got something out of it. So that's what we're looking at for the next few days. Follow us here on Facebook. Hit see first if you guys want to go ahead and be mad or whatever about yesterday. I'm just kidding. Follow us. Hit see first. Well, any posts that we do, any live forecasts, updates, live coverage, all that great stuff. You can get it right there and skip the algorithm if you hit see first. And of course, give us a call, email us, or visit our website at hailtrace.com. Follow us at hailtrace here on Instagram as well. We post the higher end forecasts and the big maps all on there as everything. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. We will see how things pan out for the rest of the day. And St. Louis tonight, probably not tonight, Fred. I don't think St. Louis is going to be in the risk area for tonight. So we'll see you again tomorrow at 12 p.m. as we do every single day on whatever platform you're watching us on. Have a great rest of your Tuesday, and we'll see you tomorrow.